Welcome back to another episode of In the End There's Always a Disney Guide. But before we get into today's episode, make sure you check out DisneyGuide.com or .tk. But let's get into today's episode. So today we're going to finish our discussion on legacies. You guys, as you guys know, the shocking mid-season finale was kind of pretty deep. It was pretty shocking too. Y'all know I'm a huge legacies fan. Y'all know I love me some legacies. So when I saw what happened on the mid-season finale, I was just in such a shocked state. But let's get into what has happened and what this basically means for Lizzie now. So if you guys don't know, Lizzie is a Gemini witch. A Gemini witch which means that she has she's one of the two twins, the Saltzman twins, who are Gemini witches. If you guys do not know about the Gemini coven, the Gemini coven is based off of there are two witches. Each have to merge. It's like it's the battle of the mind, and you have to merge to for basically to be the next leader of the Gemini coven, basically, because there can only be one, basically is what that means. So, as you guys know, if you don't remember in Legacy season 2, when Josie became Dark Josie, she tried to merge with Lizzie, and you know, if you don't know this, they have to merge by the age of 2020. I mean, by the age of 22, they can't they won't be able to live, at least not one of them won't be able to live past the age of 22. But what has happened to Lizzie has officially solved our merge problem. Let's get into why. I remember in episode 3 when Lizzie was talking about if either her or Josie became a vampire, wouldn't that solve the merge problem? Technically, it would, because if she dies, her vampire side will resurrect her, basically. So technically, that's a loophole to the merge. Low key, not even gonna lie. Um, and if you don't know now, after what happened in the mid-season finale, Lizzie is a freaking vampire now. I mean, I'm so shocked. She's a vampire and she's a witch. What does this mean? If you guys don't know of the name of this means that Lizzie is a heretic. A heretic is a powerful coven that is that involves witch, vampire people. People who possess the witch powers and their vampire powers. That's why they're a powerful coven. Because being a werewolf is powerful, but it's not as powerful though. It's just transforming into a werewolf form. So it's powerful, but it's not like all that. The witch and the vampires, the witch and the vampire bloodlines are probably one of the best ones. So this means that basically Lizzie is a heretic now. She's a witch and a vampire, and Hope needs to be worried about that, because I just really hope, I really, really, really hope that Lizzie doesn't do something stupid and turn off her humanity. Like, I swear, if Lizzie turns off her humanity, I'm going to be so irritated, it's not even funny. Like, if she turns off her humanity, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm going to be so irritated. Because that means we're going to have two, and I hate to say this about Lizzie, but Lizzie is kind of cuckoo in the head. Just a little bit. Y'all know about her, psycho problems back in the past seasons. So this isn't a surprise to me saying this. But Lizzie is a little psycho. So having a psycho with her humanity off on the loose, nah. I can't wait to see how MG and the rest of everybody find out that Lizzie is a heretic now. Like, I just can't wait to see their reaction. Because having a witch and a vampire side, that's probably one of the two best, those are the two most powerful bloodlines to have. So Lizzie is crazy powerful now. And this actually does even out the playing field. Actually, now that I think about it, because the only difference is that Lizzie doesn't have a werewolf form. That's the only thing. Lizzie just doesn't have a werewolf form. Other than that, she's still powerful though. She's still like on Hope's level though. I mean, like really though. Like she's now definitely on Hope's level. So this is gonna be crazy. That's why Hope in the episode 10 promo. That's why she was like, oh great, now we have a vampire Lizzie on the loose, because she knows now that Lizzie is like super duper powerful now. And I mean, I'm just still kind of shocked because like I'm trying to figure out, how does she become a vampire? There's only two possible solutions. Like I said, what happened in the prison world when in season 2, when Lizzie's ex-boyfriend had slipped her and gave her vampire blood, or when um or actually, if you guys remember, Alaric said that that his whatever the sibling was to him turned him into a vampire, I believe. And yeah. So it could have been passed down to her, and she probably just didn't know it. Those are the only two possible solutions of why Lizzie's a vampire. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Unless, let's see what y'all already know what it's time to do. It's time for me to go on. Let's see what Google got to say. I'm gonna see what if Google got the answer. Let me see. I'm gonna say, how is Lizzie a heretic? Yeah. Let's see what it says. Lizzie becoming a heretic in legacies theoretically, which is what I said, stops the merge from happening. But as Vampire Diary shows, it will bring brand new problems. After more than 3 seasons, Legacies finally solved the problem of Lizzie and Josie's merge, with a loophole first introduced in the Vampire Diaries. As Gemini twins, the issue of the inevitable merge in which one twin would have to absorb the other has been hanging over the heads of Josie and Lizzie for years. It's been intermittently handled on Legacies, sometimes a major focus and sometimes being all but forgotten, just lingering as an unresolved plot line. But with Kaylee Bryant exiting as a series regular, it was a story Legacies needed to resolve, and to do it, they turned to the Vampire Diaries. A common audience complaint for the first 3 seasons was that Legacy seemingly forgot its part of the Vampire Diaries universe. Elements and recurring themes that were core components of both Vampire Diaries and the originals have largely been non-existent in Legacies, but in the past handful of episodes, initially meant to be the first episodes of season 4, Legacies has suddenly remembered its parts of the universe, and as such has been bringing back characters from the other 2 shows for cameos. More importantly, it started to incorporate some of the established mythology regarding supernatural creatures and magic. Legacy season 4 episode 3, 9, I Can't Be the One to Stop You, continued that trend. The mid-season hiatus finally solved the problem of the merge, with Lizzie being killed by Hope but resurrecting as a vampire. According to the established supernatural rules of the Vampire Diaries universe, theoretically, since Lizzie died and severed her connection to Josie, the merge is no longer necessary. But while people dying and coming back as vampires was a regular occurrence on the other 2 shows, Lizzie is a special case. She and Josie are siphoners, already considered abominations by witches. Because of that, Lizzie can still be a witch and use magic even now that she's a vampire. Siphoners are the only witches able to do this. So these vampire witch hybrids were first introduced in the Vampire Diaries as heretics. So let me explain what this means. If you guys don't know what it means to be a siphoner witch, it basically means to draw power, to be able to draw power from other magical objects, basically. Sort of like basically just sucking all the magic out of something for your personal use for magic, basically. So they have the ability to, like, let's say for example, I was a siphoner witch, right? I don't know if you remember, but in Legacies, when what's his name, the werewolf, Raphael, when he got into a fight with the other werewolves because he needed to prove his loyalty to them, and they got into a huge fight. Josie put her hand on the wall. She started grabbing magic. She started, I would say, sucking magic out of the walls to be able to cast a spell. So sort of like you needed to charge your phone to use it. Basically, it needs juice to power. She needs magical energy to be able to use magic. Period. So basically, what they're saying is Siphoner witches are the only type of witches who can become a vampire and still be able to use magic. Meaning, if you were any other type of witch, if you became a vampire, you would have lost your witch side, which is what Hope was worried about when she became the Tribrid. She was afraid that if she became if she activated her vampire side, that she would probably lose her witch side, not being able to cast magic. Um, and then as with all magic, Lizzie becoming a heretic is a loophole, and it's one that could have serious ramifications on legacies. Unfortunately, this plot twist underscores the problem with legacies having been so disconnected from the previous two shows. The concept of siphoners has barely been explored, so it may not be clear to audiences who haven't watched the other shows why Lizzie becoming a vampire and heretic is important. Siphoners are rare witches who are born without the ability to create magic of their own. Instead, this is what I just explained to you guys, they pull magic from other sources. As siphoner witch vampire hybrids, heretics can technically tap into their own supernatural vampirism for a magical boost, or if no other source of magic is handy, with their special powers, siphoners can do things that other witches can't. For example, they'll be able to siphon the magic out of werewolf venom, curving vampires from an otherwise fatal bite. I mean, curing vampires from a fatal bite. Previously, it was only Klaus Michelson's blood that could cure a werewolf bite, but heretics can even cure themselves, tapping into their vampiric magic to siphon the werewolf toxin out of their system. Currently, there is only one other known heretic in the world, Valerie Tully, who was a reoccurring character in the Vampire Diaries. She was one of the rare TVD reoccurring characters who left the show alive, if not unscathed, and her whereabouts since then have been unknown. With Legacies bringing back so many previous characters from the Vampire Diaries in the originals, it's possible Valerie could return as well, especially since so little is known about heretics. Lizzie already has to navigate being a newly turned vampire, and as someone who already had challenges with emotional and mental stability, which is what I said, the heightened emotions of vampirism will be hard to control. Combining that with her ability to siphon, and Lizzie could go down a very dark path if she doesn't have someone to guide her. That's exactly what I just said. Knowing Lizzie, she probably might try to, you know what I'm thinking, you guys? I'm thinking Hope probably might try to convince Lizzie to turn off her humanity. Because Hope would do something evil like that now that Hope's humanity is off. So I wouldn't put it past her if Hope would try to get that idea inside of her head to turn off her humanity. And if she do, we're going to have a cycle on our hands, basically. It would be a great time for Valerie to return in Legacy Season 4 to help Lizzie. Regardless, it will be interesting to see where Lizzie's story goes now. But even though it explains what happened, I'm trying to see, I'm going to see, I'm going to search up this. How is Lizzie a vampire now? It's like, I can't, it's not explaining. I mean, man, Lizzie is like, she's like really powerful now. I mean, honestly, she's on Hope's level. The only difference is that, Lizzie doesn't have a werewolf side. Let me see. Can a heretic, can a heretic, um, can a heretic become a werewolf? Let's see what it says about that. Can siphoners become a tribrid? Thanks to their it says status siphoners, both supporting stars could become tribrids if bitten by a werewolf. Lizzie and Josie are siphoners, a rare offshoot of witches. Let me see. Let's go more into we're gonna say why are siphoner witches why are siphoner witches so rare? Siphoners are somehow born with a rare condition that can pass through and across generations, which give them the ability to absorb magic from any witch or magical object or supernatural being. Josie and Lizzie are the only known pair of twins to be both siphoners. Wow. Yeah, because I was wondering. It's crazy now because it's like out of all people, Lizzie is I'm just still shocked on that. Like she's a vampire now. I just hope she doesn't do something stupid and act and try to turn off her humanity like Hope did. That'd be the dumbest thing she could probably ever do. But we don't know. But we'll see. We'll find out. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast. You guys already know what to do. And I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you for listening in. And yeah, bye bye, guys.